Slaughter. Free Silverman ready to go.
Lane, Lifestealer going down bottom, so Matu won't get perhaps the 1v1 matchup he wanted against Beastmaster. It's still a decent matchup. That's the thing where they wanted to put Matu, I think, just and give more farm priority to the Timber than the Weaver, but he also doesn't really care so much about the matchup. While the Beastmaster is a good matchup, Lifestealer is also a good matchup. The Timber's no real bad matchups for him in any lane at this point, other than it's like a Silencer support was zoning him out with like Glaives or something. Maybe a mid-silencer. What MP's plan is going to be, how effective they can be at coming down the GH jungle, or if SVG is just going to prioritize a bit more during the lanes early on. But now he is headed down bottom.
And I mean, considering this mid lane, how is it? You were saying you expect this to go between the two?
Too bad for you.
I'm not really sure. I haven't seen much Silencer versus TA. Like in my head, like Curse should be pretty good at breaking refraction. Mechanically, Miracle is like the play you'd expect to win, but the damage, Salve doesn't have refraction, so you can't just go too close.
Getting some full-on harassment. Yeah, very early now in the middle lane. They're ready to go in again, just with these Glaives. Now that level 2's hit, Miracle will have refraction. But even with that, straight off. Himself taking a lot of damage. The creeps are moving in as well. Be careful, Miracle looking to get the side blade hits. Won't be able to cancel the salve though, and he does get lucky with being able to salve up, so vice versa, Miracle in turn gets a goal.
Curious to see if Liquid respond to this aggro lane, because I feel like they wanted to give more farm priority to Matu, or at least give him a safe lane, good main matchup, but he's being tri-laned. I don't imagine sending Rubik down there really changes all too much. It's not going to make the lane any easier, so Matu's probably just like, I'd rather just get solo XP than have a Rubik down here doing very little. Getting kept at his tower. This is a rough lane for Matu, but the outcome is that the other lane is
straight in onto MSS here. He'll go for the immediate TP out and will be successful. Just towards the tower, of course. No need to go back to base. He does save himself from death. We saw in the mid lane, quite interesting enough, that the flow of the creeps ended up being it so. The Envy's being able to maintain a bit of a balance really behind his tier 1, so we've had at least one wave that Miracle's not been able to get any of his hands on. Of course, it's TAs that he's managed to make the most of that by just going straight to the jungle and picking up some camps. But this is, of course, going to mean that Envy will get a lot of farm in this mid lane. The CCS-wise, 15 for 2 with a 5 for 1 because of the way the momentum had ended up in that mid lane.
pushing towards the tower. Miracle and TA isn't there for the time being, and Envy's got a great one to have for a silencer where he spells.
Almost turning to a spam Miracle out of the lane.
Spells, Glaives. Already popped his shrine now. Has to be very careful. He's going to be walking with much a lot.
Yeah, looks to be it with SVG having this wraparound. TPs will come through. Miracle does have a refraction back up and all. They turn onto SVG. Miracle himself will get the first blood. Very nice turnaround. Perfect reaction from Kura.
You weren't wrong, Miracle. It was the first
It was
blood.
first blood. We meant Miracle was to get it all along.
He had the follow-up refraction coming out of really good time. That's one of those plays where a lot of people may look at it and so like anyone, like for a lot of players, be like, oh, he's a bit fortunate, refraction came back up, but times that he knows when that recast for refraction is going to be up, and nice little bait from him. Matu got aggro tri-lane to start, and found himself in a 1v1, which is going to be much better for him. But just giving the lifestealer that early CS advantage makes this lane a lot more manageable.
Top lane SVG has found GH here and is going to go for a bit of a play. Mind Control is in the neighborhood. GH, of course, very close to the shrine. And yeah, SVG knows. Can't really go full in. The shrine will be more than enough to keep GH safe. And SVG himself maybe a little bit scared now. He's deep in enemy territory. He's worried about potential wraparounds. GH starts to head towards him. Looks like Miracle's not going to be coming over. So SVG is okay.
Through the mid lane, since Miracle probably tells his team I can farm faster in the jungle. Here's actually the underrated aspects of this hero, and fully well what he's capable of. Just says the mid lane's going to be empty. We're going to run Magnus in the top jungle. I'll take the bottom jungle. Hatesprit at bottom will be secured by NT. And Miracle getting that dangerous range.
SVG can get anything done with it. It's just getting eyes Miracle. Timberman's a hard one, isn't he? They've got rid of the crush and then not a lot of other control apart from the open wounds.
All physical damage, TA's got fraction, Max is kind of jungling in the very same place. Weaver's got to escape every lane. It's a similar story to last game where Liquid have drafted things that can't really be, they can be pressured for sure, but they're not going to be like able to be easily dangerous.
At the least SPT's just trying to be a nuisance here for Miracle, but Miracle still picks up the CS.
And, you know,
It's going to be fine.
hey, it's just that, it's the minor nuisances, which these kind of things can add up, but ultimately if you're NP, you need to be coming out on top, which they are, like CS-wise.
Oh yeah, already
stage,
this laning stage is a million times better than what we saw in game 1.
I don't think it hasn't been dominated by them, even though they've got the top 3 CSs. There's a jungle back.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Kind of like the trade-off. Liquid also got first blood, so considering they've got a jungler and they got first blood, I'd still say Liquid in a slightly better spot by here 5 minutes in. Miracle has been forced into the jungle a bit, but if anything, you're kind of looking at that like, well, that means Kuro's going to get faster 6 on route. It's just greater farm and experience distribution on the Liquid side. It's going to be less kind of focused on one player being Miracle and the TA is not going to be playing, but you're okay with it because you just know you'd rather Miracle get farmed than like the solo XP at mid lane by a silence.
Bottom lane, 2 bursting down now, fairly low. And as this lane has gone on, we saw at the start, as you mentioned, that tri-lane enabling Aoi to get the head start, but as soon as it's gone back to this 1v1, Matsu pretty much closing the gap. There's 7 CS in it, and in fact Aoi, once again, so careful. We're seeing just the power that Matsu can exert on this lane. Now he's 6, and now he's got the arcane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Kill, but
Yeah, they have to be more careful with this dive. Yeah, GH is starting to take a lot of damage in return. The axes aren't going to connect. GH will be fine. MSS very, very well. Only has 1 more tango as well, so it has to be very careful for a stage.
like the toughest part right now for this game with MP is kind of finding use for this ladder. He's kind of roaming around, pseudo-contesting the jungle, but he's under-leveled. Dude, he's not really stopping the TA from jungling farming. He's leaked a bit of XP, blocked a camp, but it's too small achievements of what he's getting done. It's not like he's majorly disrupting the TA. TA hasn't been shut down. TA is still farming and getting items in all directions. There'll be a couple hundred network behind, etc. So it doesn't really feel like Slaughter's achieved too much.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Picked. Go smoke gank, and I think Slaughter's probably made the call like, look, we need to do something with. I need a teammate. He needs a partner to make something happen. And Envy with the maxed out first.
But look where Matthew's gone. He's out of there.
And Miracle TP top as well. Miracle TP to the shrine, I believe, just to go farm the other jungle. Vacated zone jump. Perhaps that smoke was scouted by
They've got 2 good wards, yeah. They've got a lot of good vision. Liquid is, I'm pretty sure they must have seen it on the edge.
And even if you don't see the smoke, you see an empty lane. You're like, why is Silence not farming mid lane? We're not contesting his lane. We're not ganking him. Why would he leave the lane? And there's like really one conclusion to come to. Like, he's made a move. He's looking to get aggressive and invade your jungle and find a kill with that Slaughter. So good deductions from Liquid, whether they saw it or not. And they're gonna dodge a bullet there and be getting a gank.
I'm just going to be careful. There's a Weaver in the neighborhood as well.
GH? Not RP yet.
I mean, Envy is not going to be able to kill this, and he just goes to get himself straight out of there, and he will do.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Every set first down by Timberman. He says he didn't have the roar, but I mean, the shackle was already out. Maybe could have saved him, but
under attack.
I don't know, it's a hard call to make in the moment like that. But certainly any chance of killing Timberman. And it is just the support.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thrown away as he finds a triple ancient stack to work on. Kiting these around, making sure they can't move or anything. Straightforward for a TA.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got to kite them around the can't see that as a miracle. You'll get fast treads, and he is top of the network. It's one of those things where you can draft something like a silencer and have a good laning matchup, and but that only lasts like 4 or 5 minutes. Once the TA decides to just go jungle, kind of like the Alchemist, you can beat the Alch in lane CS-wise, but he's just going to fall back, Iron Talon jungle. TA does the same thing, not with an Iron Talon, but it's the same concept where you can stack camps, you farm jungle very fast and efficiently, and once given by the 10-minute mark, he's on top of the network despite having that lockdown.
I mean, what is the plan ready for Envy? We saw with Envy Silence, they really wanted to try and make something happen, and they were unable to. I mean, he's up top. I mean, this is just one of those core heroes that it's very hard to justify sitting back and farming. You need to make sure that the power of it is felt in these early stages of the game.
You want to do smoke moves, like the first smoke with the slider failed. It looks like he may look for a smoke with the Beastmaster now. Problem is he's been missing off the map for a long time. Like jungling with the Beastmaster here is nice, bit of extra cash and all, but it's more time where Liquid's like, well, these two heroes are missing. Are they smoking? You know, what are they doing? And I think more importantly, they saw them at the top lane grouped together. They had the ward there, yeah. Great, NPD ward, but they also get vision of Beastmaster and Silencer at that top bounty room, so they know fully well where those heroes are on the map. They also scout Beastmaster smoke, so like, at that point you're saying like these heroes are here, you go smoke, let's play fortune.
Continuing to farm. Of course, they're going to be looking for the Desolator. Going up with the Blink Dagger.
The Ancients, they're trying to just do whatever they can to slow down the Miracle Farm, but Center there. Can access, and Liquid at this point with RP up could even make moves themselves.
Top lane talking about making moves once again. The Timberman just picking up solo kills. I mean, both MSS and 4037 in this lane just seeming to be unable to control this Timbersaw that is absolutely going out of control. It's going to be a very good Bloodstone timing at this mid lane. No best of he drops the RP, looking to finish off Envy, they'll get it. 4037 do enough to hold them back. Light stroke correct. Belongs to the inevitable with that short stun.
One of the best heroes on the conventional carry.
Dire's top tower
Play a
is
lot of
under
them, knows
attack.
the full limits of this hero. He's managed to recover just fine. We don't really feel like it's a lot of life stealer game just there. And often this combo does take some time to come online, but and they are prioritizing the SCP. Not like this push up dimension. Give life steal the jungle, give SCP a lane. You've got to get that link best bot match. Things have not really gone the way they would have hoped for in the laning stage. This would have just read them like a book and prevented everything from really achieving anything. Potential Beastmaster still coming. He is lurking around. Got it now in his items, so he's next to use that. Things where the vision from like so much of the map, so even when you're going for these smoke ganks, if they see you not farming jungle, not farming lanes, they may be well aware of it.
But already you can see the mind control position. He's keeping to the trees. He's most certainly aware that this is going down, as you said, just because of how much they can see.
Yeah. Miracle's farming deep in the enemy jungle, and you've seen no one farming at that area. You're just like, well, they're not farming their map, that means they're invading our map. But still, I mean, GH is still trying to get a big greedy and see what farming can get, and so that you can rely on Skewer to escape. They still may find a pick, but it's a lot of time invested, and they've got to get the pick.
Oh, and they can't get the roar in time. GH,
yeah,
immediately out.
Time where they're not farming and Liquid get a bit further ahead. Nowhere near as bad as last game by any means, but still going to be concerns from the NP camp. They're just not really achieved much. They have found Kuro, so that ward they left behind. I think Kuro just felt like they'd left the jungle. Like once that smoke thing sails, he's just like, alright, smoke thing sails, let's get out. He's like, alright, let's walk in, catch a couple of sentries, see if I can leave the ward there. Still getting a kill for them, but Kuro probably knows it's water there now.
Lane as well. So GH come in, was looking to get an RP on MP, but MP just immediately hit the global silence TP reaction.
How you want to use your silence, but still get it forwards alive at this point.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Get the tower here, Timberman pushing in, picking out the stun. GH is still in the neighborhood.
Still he lands, he gets Laguna Blade. 4037 was looking for the combo. Entry.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Playing that selfless 5 position support. It really feels like a new look from Liquid, where normally GH has been creating space, kind of playing a bit more support oriented, but the last few games, they carried Naga for one thing, but even since then, it's the Jungle Magnus game, GH has got a really in that 4th position.
Yeah, well, Kuroki. that stolen spell.
Okay.
I mean, how
That's a freebie.
do you steal that gold? That's just...
Mostly what there is to that.
Over silence.
I mean, that's throw a spell in the sleep, but it's one of those things like you come back to a
Yeah.
lane after being at fountain, you don't think about the
You
last
don't.
spell.
You don't think.
If you're in a fight where you're in the lane,
Radiant's
that's
top
after
tower
being
is
out,
under
you're not
attack.
like, oh, I just came back to lane and I'm farming. I think the last spell you used.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
To have the liquid thing that fixes towers and fixes CTA. Free tier 1 mid, but pick up bottom. A lot of first bombs are online now. This is where
Blink dagger reveal.
they've got to
Radiant structures are
keep going every
fortified.
time there's lights on the first.
Kuroki will be
Radiant's
roared up. Necro books out. Be a surefire kill. Silence comes through, but of course no way that that's going to save his own life.
You're going to lose it, but
Dire's
does
top tower
take away
is
that
under
kill.
attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Silence.
attack.
Heal doesn't get
Dire's
used elsewhere, but
structures are
still
fortified.
Liquid getting way more out of the map. Like they got a tier 1 mid on their carries are
Radiant's
getting a lot.
bottom
Right
tower
now. Matthew
is
at top, Bloodstone up very early, Soul Liquid on the tower. Find
Dire's
himself
top
getting
tower is under attack.
put out in a bad spot if he's not careful.
Dire's top tower
Well,
is
Timmerman
fortified.
changed the way. They did go for the blink crush, but not quite hitting the point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Money to burn.
Obviously just 100 gold. Blink Deso will be complete 16 minutes in.
Balance pick worked out. Got to transition out of that strong laning stage into good objectives or at least some rotations. At this point, just feels like winning your lane for the first 5 minutes doesn't really amount to much when TA just free farms the jungle. Where there was a bit of a disconnect with what the mid hero was set out to do and what the overall team game plan was this game.
This build as well from Envy, so drums into Solar Crest it looks like. And though, we are seeing this combo from SVG and Aoi. These two have been keeping it very solid this game. Aoi's farm is up there on par with that of the Liquid to blink there, so TA. 2 shots and the Lena's gone.
Still feels like the least important core hero to kill for PvP. You'd rather, I mean, you cancel TA take what kills you get, but I think if you're Liquid, you're like, well, let's leave the job as kind of to be that sacrificial role in some ways. If anything, you'd almost rather he died in the Magnus. Magnus is greedy, we can farm, but the Midas build, so.
Aoi's just going to go straight in. They are coming in at a good time. They've got the global. They'll look towards Matu with the Roar and the Necro Books. They'll take down the Timber Sword. Can they get something more?
Or can they?
Around. I mean, TH still has this RP. You've got to be careful of this RP. MP, what can they do? Jump in for SPG. They'll look towards Miracle. They've got the chain stun. TH goes forward. He's going to blow the RP out. Oh, now he does so. He doesn't catch anything. Miracle falling low. Tries to tell her he's gone. GH as well. And Aoi picks up the triple. They may not be done yet. Mind control. Time lapse is back. But Timberman now looking for the cleanup in return. Has managed to chop down Aoi. Mind control and MV. Ahead, MSS back towards the shrine. Looks like the heal will be enough. There's actually going to be a buyback from SVG. They want to take down Matu, and they should get him. Is the regen going to be enough? It's not. They'll lose the Timber Saw, and in a very scrappy fight from both sides, MP ending up coming out on top as they head back into the pit. Mind Control still alive, doesn't have time lapse. Go for any sort of play here. He's going to look for it. He's coming around the corner with the Shizuki, but he's not going to head in. Dyer get the kill. MP, they're able to get themselves the Aegis onto Envy. It will be expended immediately by the looks of it here with Mind Control GH for looking to try and finish him down. But Timberman coming across with the Timber Chain. Can Envy protect him? Can they give him a second chance? It doesn't look like they can as Envy gets lured back into the claws of Liquid. They'll lose the silencer. MP, Raw, and Mind Control, able to sneak away, jump forward from SVG though. Hits the crush and the curse ends up being now Mind Control. MP still on the retreat, MSS running himself away. Aoi gets chopped down by the Timberman, but Timberman looking again for a second cleanup. He came in with the first one and he's coming in with a second. Brings down Lena, MSS on his way back to base. Matu, can he go for any sort of big balls play? He wants to. He's up on the high ground, but his balls, they're going to get chopped off. No, they're not. The axes, they can't do it. It's not enough damage. And it's Matu pulling it off as he picks up the double, taking down SVG inside the base of MP, and he is out of there.
I think Matu's just like, probably just like so like fired up and enraged after those previous 2 deaths where he gets caught in the ropes, he gets rolled and brought down. He's like, I'm diving for these kills, regardless of what happens. And boy, was he making the right call in doing so. Completely crushes them as he chases deep. Without the silences for control, without the Beastmaster roll, there wasn't good answers for him. And Liquid, who managed to find some retaliation kills after a poor rogue execution, was well punished by NP.
So this is the initial appearance of NP around the pit, and just eliminating Matuma Man. It's great because we saw how much he does when he's alive.
He also didn't have TP when he respawned. Like 10 seconds off. He had that 10-second respawn, but didn't have the TP to abuse it.
Cut straight back to the real game. There's Miracle, and Beastmaster MSS had a bit of an altercation, and it involved MSS getting 2-shotted to the face.
Stuff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Guardian added the end to the global silence, and also probably the, in some ways, more annoying Arcane Curse. I like it. I've never kill coming out. They find GH. The Yule Scepter as a counter global silence is like nice and all, but it's not like an instant counter. You have to throw yourself up in the air, and you use yourself to get a global. You're setting up stuff like a Slaughter Crush, a Lena Stun. I've never been like a huge fan of using games to counter global silence, because if you're in the middle of a fight, it sometimes just screws yourself over. I like the Game's approach here. It's also just going to be hard, kind of very team-oriented, allows them to dive even harder and faster. You can get like a nice little, a bit more expensive. I think that's the kind of the benefit of the Yule Scepter. Starting together global, it's just not always the optimal.
Yeah, he's 2037 with the classic. I'm going to go into the lane as a support and see what I can get. What he gets is very, very fast.
Time to deal to the back. Alfie. Good top again. 5 seconds.
Miracle nearly with the Hurricane Pike complete.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's way recipe short.
And he's done a lot more hero damage than the TA.
That's true, I see there. 11.4k.
It's going to change, for sure. A lot of that coming just from that curse in the team fights against like Templar. Curse on him for such a long time. Matu was really struggling to... I mean, he's spamming spells. He's probably just like, oh, that's what I do as a Timbersaw. Let's hope my regen can out-regen the curse damage.
But very interesting as well with this build, of course, this Bloodstone into the mech where, you know, maybe with other Timbers you would have expected like a Hood to be picked up in response, but Matu, thinking of the team and obviously getting the mech done first, it's going to be a bit quicker.
For the greens to get.
Yeah.
I think it's less... You wouldn't get the mech if not for the upgrade. It'd be pretty...
And
not garbage, so it'd be a pretty questionable.
Would you imagine? Yeah, he's going to upgrade that before going anywhere.
Yeah, he doesn't want a mech. He wants green.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But Lotus Orb is the other option, I guess, which is at a similar price point to Greaves, which you could go for. But perhaps just decides that again, like you say, this is the more team-oriented item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lone MP looking to get a bit of pressure onto this tier 2. The wraparound will come through though from Liquid. GH, RP at the ready.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant's bottom reveal first. That's the man will reveal the plan. GH will get the skewer fight. Now he on the cross side. Let's impact are beating up the Lifestealer, but they've lost Miracle. The controls there from MP. They're able to nuke him down. Matuma Man in response will find Lina. MP turning up the fight with the curse to glaze. Bringing Matuma Man down low. SVG comes in with a crush, cuts off Matuma Man, and they've found themselves 2 massive kills. 2 cores out on the side of Liquid. MP get the tower.
Well positioned by NP there. Like the smoke pops and Liquid didn't see anyone. They had vision problems that fight. If they have vision to get a jump with like the Magnus for a blink skewer, or a TA just having a blink health strike, it's a very different type of them. But when the smoke pops, they're completely blind. They don't see heroes. They don't know where to go. And the moment of kind of the couple of seconds of confusion allows Beastmaster to reposition. He roars, solo kills the TA. The leading Miracle from the fight. Key to success there for sure, but all of that came as a result of the vision advantage. Hard place to take. Hard to kind of maintain any vision against this Beastmaster.
What a mate, MP. Looking to play around with GH, but he is able to blink out just before the first tick of damage hits him.
See like how much damage he can do. Once again, yeah, Matu just chains in blindly to try and get vision for his team. Kind of felt like he just needed to mean, he's the front line. He's the one who wants to go running in, but he chained in, didn't find anybody, and as a result, I think Miracle just thought it's safe. So he's like, all right, Timber found no one. It's probably safe. Let's just go myself. Sands in Liquid, before that, felt like they were kind of on track with a lot of their items, but melted by the physical damage. The Solar Crest really amps up even further the life stealer damage. Yeah.
I mean, ooh,
Guys,
that blink reaction.
talented player.
Got to be prepared for this. I mean, we'll see if they get their hands on him. He is gone. The damage that Ali doing on mid lane again. Miracle caught out, and as soon as they get that roar, we're back up there. It's a free kill, and a Miracle. He's gone down twice in the last few minutes, and huge death damage, of course, with the lead he got in terms of levels, and so he's down for a full minute. This is absolutely massive for MP, finding the kills that they need. Aoi in a perfect spot as he's only just over 1,000 really behind the TA.
Good example game where it's like you can play incredibly well against a bad matchup, jungle super fast, find a ton of pick-offs, but those 2 deaths cripple your team a lot. They've allowed MP to take a lot of map control. Luckily, Roche isn't up at it. I mean, it can't be up for another 30-40 seconds. But we're going to see MP, if they can keep finding those kind of pick-offs, use it to take Roche.
I mean, it looks like they may just get GH getting quick with the reaction, and they don't have anything to catch him out as they try and get in range for that Yules as such, but he's already gone. Envy, as we just saw, picking up the Midas. I mean, very Envy-esque silencer build, something a little bit different really. This drums, Solar Crest, Force, and now Midas pick up at 26 minutes.
Back for one of those things where if you're a rank completer, the attack speed is not like a terrible item. Like, it's not just a farming item. You do get attack speed and your silencer looking to do glaives damage. You still can get some extra physical DPS from the item while guaranteeing that you progress towards your late game talent. I think that's the big thing here. Sometimes it's hard to get towards that level 5 at a good time. Midas does. That can speed right.
Forward for a bit of a play there, but they catch out each other. They're wanting to blindly initiate.
Good lane. Bad if they get caught in a tough team fight here. The Lincoln Sphere could be a key tool to try and protect the TA with. Miracle's queued up a Linkers of his own, something.
GH and Envy. There's the pick off, drags it back. Really any sort of way the team can save it. The global silence is out. It's going to stop that physical damage flying through. Turn though, Envy makes it, find some trades. Huge again, Miracle just getting absolutely blown up by this combination. They rip through the refraction, and 1437 every time. He is saving that Laguna Blade for the TA because there's just nothing that Liquid can do in response. Miracle's gone so quickly, and MP are able to get that momentum to move it on to more, picking up Kuro as well. And this is kind of fantastic. Roshan is just about to be back up. If they check it out and they pick it up whilst there's 3 members of Liquid dead, I think it's very safe to say that this is now MP's game to lose.
They're in there. Beatles. I'm not sure if they even saw Roche respawn, but either way, like with those 3 heroes dead, you're not contesting this Roche anyway, so fantastic sequence of events for MP. They're doing such a good job of bursting Miracle fight after fight. 1437 with his positioning, always, like you say, saving the Laguna, making sure you can getting it done on the TA as well, and Miracle's item progression has gone down the toilet. He's had this Hurricane Pike for it feels like 5-6 minutes and not found any further developments, hasn't been able to get any value out of this Hurricane Pike. Probably reconsidering and wishing he went for a Lincoln Sphere instead of it. Easier to say in hindsight based on how he's died and how these fights have kind of developed, but Liquid playing defensive Dota. Use what vision they can get, which is going to be very limited playing against smart again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A bit of a
For now. Oh, okay.
Oh, MSS. I'm just looking at the damage this does. It's absolutely incredible. MSS with that
Dire's
necro
bottom
burst.
tower
It's alone. I mean, 1437 comes along for the casual kill secure. Level 3 necro. Really is quite something.
The lead to get the items and farm right now. Beastmaster is kind of at that point where
He's
got Blink Necro 3.
He's got his tools.
Yeah. His role in this game is going to be finding pickoffs.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Do quite a lot with farm this game. seems like a true core, or you can see 9k net worth. Aether Lens Yules has that long-range initiation catch, extra spell amp talent, so just 37 a very strong late game. At level 20 already, we're
That's insane, actually. That is incredible leveling for this Lina.
He's only level 19, he's also been on the receiving end of a couple of games. Still, we only died 3
Radiant's
times.
bottom tower
Strong
is
game
under
all
attack.
across the board. Eternal Envy and his squad, and feels like they've really come together in the mid game to start finding a lot of pick-offs. Liquid just haven't seemed to be on the same page. You've got mind control often split pushing the lane. Not just farming, but going too deep for kills where he's getting picked by Beastmaster. And it really has been MSS's Beast. Found the key heroes, found the pick-offs of the team more so than even FPG on the slider. Like, they've had a couple fast ganks on Weaver, but the key kills have been Miracle's PA, and that's where MSS is. Chaining across the ground.
He will back up in response, but again, MSS immediately with a setup, just this mana burn from the Necro units, leaving Matuma Man very much in a whole world of pain as they rip him down. MP, I mean, they are just playing a step ahead of Liquid this game.
Liquid just on full going on the high ground there, trying to clear a space and probably get out, but like you say, MP a step ahead, they were ready for it, they're already responding. So it's like kind of the Liquid game plan, like he gets picked top, immediately GH goes to shove out the bottom lane, everyone else falls back, use that kind of pseudo space from the Timber sort of farm, but you're losing blood charge progression quite a bit to die like that. So going in. The big thing is trying to just prevent NP from finding an opportunity where lanes are pushed enough that they can press high ground while they've got an Aegis. Master, Aura, Necro 3, Lifestealer with a Deso, now rebuilding into an AC next. He's even got the Crystallis. You can break buildings very quickly with the Rage.
Next target's going to be, I mean, MP. Are they getting close to a point where you feel that they can go for a high ground push, or?
Yeah, I think they're ready out there. That's
this
what
is
they're
the
grouping
time.
up the bottom. MSS just travels very far away. He may be on pick-off PD.
Look at Alex. Let's go straight up with the Rage.
Jump.
And starts to work down this tier 3.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
3 AFK Courier.
Ended up with Lincoln Sphere recipe on that for GH, but I imagine, yeah, it was still an ultimate orb shot anyway, so not too much of a worry. Okay, fight, yeah, bringing Aoi down to less than half.
Lincoln's is still not guaranteed to survive. Gross phase, so yeah, when you can blink crush him, so you can still stun him during the Lincoln.
It's not friendly. Worried about Fred and Magnus, and in fact, GH jumps in with a global silence is there, and they've already lost Matuma Man. Down for 70, doesn't have buyback, they're moving in for more. Don't keep GH. The rest of Liquid are forced back, and MP, just who needs creeps when you got damage like this? They're fighting through the backdoor protection. Now the creeps will turn up, making it that little bit easier, a little bit sweeter for them as they clean out the bottom racks. And with 50 seconds without these two crucial heroes for high ground defense, MP can get much more done.
Luckily there's tier 2 towers, otherwise it would have been a guaranteed double lane of racks. Aegis will expire, they still will likely, they actually may still
they're
get
definitely sticking around for this.
Force a buyback, you're still feeling very strong. You've still got Raw, so you've got that control from GA. He does have Lincolns now.
Be careful, it's being caught out. MSS will jump in as well, but the telekinesis in response immediately from Kuroki. Then taking down MSS, but Kuroki's lost his life. It's a double kill for MP. They'll look towards the Weaver as well. The follow-through change does there from 14:37. Buybacks come out, but there's no miracle for 70 seconds. Liquid, I mean, between game 1 and game 2.
That's a different team. It was such a roller coaster team to follow and watch. They have such full performances where incredible MP draft and execution, and you'll see something that's overly theory craft like the last game.
See what they can get it. They're trying to punish MP. They need to find something. SVG's already out of there. May come back in to help Envy if required. Envy is the one left on the front lines. B forces forward though, and with that, Liquid have to be a bit more cautious. They know that MP can turn.
That's ready to go. Got an AC now. Well, they didn't get the rack. that's sort of small consolation prize with Liquid not losing the double lane, but ready to go for another fight fairly soon.
Brilliant play. And it's always admirable to see a team in kind of a series come back from a very painful beatdown.
They just got a Bloodstone. This is like looking like Bloodstone now with the respawn time. It won't be insta respawn with minus 12 charges. Will probably be like he's level 23, so it'll probably be like maybe 20-second respawn time, I'd say, but it'll be very fast. Route to travel, it's like you die, you can very quickly get back into a fight. Fights are drawn out a little bit at this stage of the game.
I mean, what's the answer for Liquid? It just seems, as you kind of mentioned earlier, it's just felt slightly broken, the team play, especially compared to what we saw from them in game one. The coordination just has not been on the same level that MP's managed to bring to the plate on game two.
Team fight, RPs is probably the biggest thing they're lacking. Kuro needs to find some key spell skills who like stealing a roar or even like an AoE stun like a light strike array or a slider crash could turn things around. It feels like Liquid have just been waiting. They're not making moves, they're waiting for NP to come to them, and as a result they're getting picked off time and time again. They can't play like a wait and farm kind of game against a team with such a huge amount of cats. We've got both the Slider Lifestealer duo as well as the Beastmaster finding pickoffs, and the greedy you try and play, the more kind of farm-centric you are, the more the message drop they'll just punish that greed with constant pickoffs. And also just like the team-fight execution where Miracles between games got died twice in a row with Raw. If those Raw kills and Miracles don't happen, Liquid were looking fine before that. This game was going quite well, and they had like 6-7 kills at one point. The game kind of...
I mean, that kind of really steep turn.
All those green dots at the bottom, which are the radiant kills and towers, turned into very few kills. I mean, Miracle's one of those players. He gets a lot of praise, one of the best players in the world, but I think you do point to him where he has made some mistakes this game, which have well and truly cost his team positioning and getting caught in those roars. It's going to happen. Kudos to MSS for playing a good Beastmaster, but Miracle kind of fell prey to them. He got baited a couple times in, and that's really been Liquid's big downfall, was those 2 successive raw kills.
Mind Control continues to keep the split disruption working towards that butterfly. Nation in the bag. 3-7. Running across you do have MP as well, at back in their own jungle.
Now he's very fun.
This is very impressive. I mean, Envy as well, we said it was always going to be hard potentially for Silence to keep up with the farm rate of someone like the TA or even like Ali, of course, on his own team, the Lifestealer. But Envy's certainly done it with this build, with this Midas pickup, and with the objectives and involvement he's had in these team fights. It's been incredibly fruitful for him. And Liquid, with this smoke, and it's getting to the point where Liquid have to make something happen with this. They're down a set of racks. They can't afford to lose heroes with no buybacks being available. It's around this key time as well. Roshan's going to be back up. This Roshan could mean everything for both sides this year.
Liquid trying to put their fate in their own hands rather than wait for NP to come to them, as has happened a lot of this game. They want to be go-getters. They want to...
Look at that. Speed Envy takes this down here with the built-up damage on the glaives. I mean, it's gone. That's...
Those traps in the pit, they put a trap trying to protect them a little bit, and Miracle just was a bit too far away. He's also been spotted.
Oh, Miracle.
And
he's going to get the catch as well. In there with the cloak. MSS jumps forward, gets the Necro units out. The chain says there's anything that the team can do to save Miracle. There's not. He's out. This time round, he does have money for buyback, and he's almost certainly going to need it if he wishes to try and hold on against MP, as they're ready to come roaring down the middle lane onto the racks. Buyback comes out from the TA. But what can they do to stop this? And the Necro units, the Beast, Ballmaster, it's all in there.
The T1 tower at top is the crazy thing right now. To get that Mega Creep, so they'll have to head towards that top lane, and that's the line being drawn. 14-37 for He's got this top lane. With how much farm he's got and how well he's done, I think he's going to be in a point where he can start making the calls. He's going to be perhaps the first person to get level 5 right now. TA Miracle can beat him there, but...
Radiant's top tower
I
is
mean,
under
we
attack.
kind of question where it was going to be played in the draft.
Radiant's top tower
not really an
has
MV hero, but certainly proving to be 14-37. Miraculous gaming. definitely, as you mentioned earlier, those kills in Miracle would not have happened really if it got a lot of other healers. They needed that huge damage to come through when the refraction was down. And Lina absolutely fits the bill. Top lane, Howie ready to go onto Kuroki, forced back. Howie is fended away by the damage coming out from Miracle. We'll keep Kuro alive. Again, the power of MP. Very scary, and very have as well. Vizgada 40-37. Going his way.
Brave positioning from Liquid. Poising in favor to defend their outer towers. 3 racks so far, 2 melee racks at that. They're high ground to defend. I feel like they may pull back here, fight around the shrines, fight around the high ground advantage. And also just push out mid and bottom lane, because those lanes are starting to approach dangerous position. Yeah, they will just let that
Radiant's
tower
top
go.
tower is under attack.
It's really getting to the point where they need to hit a massive arc.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Saving grace here. Got to be the GHRP landing on multiple cores, but they can just siege with AUI, have him only here on the front lines if they want.
Is being poured out. They will have the telekinesis to hold MSS in place for a little bit late again. The burst coming through as they bring down the Weaver, but some amount of trouble as well. GH does get a beautiful RP, but the follow-up damage is just not going to be there. MV picks up a double kill, triple buyback coming out from the side of Liquid, but they've lost Miracle. He's down for 2 minutes. 37 has to kill himself. Wowie moving in there for more. MV just on the back line, ripping through Mind Control, who's trying to toy with the support of MV. It just isn't going to happen as Liquid are falling apart here in Game 2, and NP came back with incredible force after what was nothing less than a disappointing performance in Game 1 against Liquid. And Liquid absolutely shaken up there by that showing.
Fixed a lot of their drafting strategies. They had a much more dominant laning stage, and mid-game wise, it still wasn't like a one game from the lanes by NP by any means. They just made some really nice moves. I like how they prioritized getting SVG as Blink. It felt like he didn't really achieve much, slowing down expect to win, but the damage. Sal doesn't have refraction, so he can't just go too close.
Getting some full-on harassment. So yeah, very early now in the middle lane. They're ready to go in again, just with these glaives. Now that level 2's hit, Miracle will have refraction. But even with that, straight off. Himself taking a lot of damage. The creeps are moving in as well. Be careful, Miracle looking to get the side blade hits. Won't be able to cancel this out though, and he does get lucky with being able to salve up, so vice versa, Miracle in turn gets a grab.
Curious to see if Liquid respond to this aggro lane, because I feel like they wanted to give more farm priority to Matu, or at least give him a safe lane, good main matchup, but he's being tri-laned. I don't imagine sending Rubik down there really changes all too much. It's not going to make the lane any easier, so Matu's probably just like, I'd rather just get solo XP than have a Rubik down here doing very little. Getting kept at his power. This is a rough lane for Matu, but the outcome is that the other lane
Straight onto MSS here. It'll go for the immediate TP out and will be successful. Just towards the tower, of course. No need to go back to base. Does save himself from death. We saw in the mid lane, quite interesting enough, that the flow of the creeps ended being it so. The MV's being able to maintain a bit of a balance really behind his tier 1, so we've had at least one wave that Miracle's not been able to get any of his hands on. Of course, he's managed to make the most of that by just going straight to the jungle and picking up some camps. But this is, of course, going to mean that MV will get a lot of farm for this mid lane. This is CCS-wise, 15 for 2, with a 5 for 1 because of the way the momentum had ended up in that mid lane.
pushing towards the tower. Miracle and TA isn't there for the time being, and NP's got a great one to have for a silence at where he spells.
Almost turning to a spam Miracle out of the lane.
Spells, Blaze. Already popped his shrine now. Has to be very careful, because he's going to be walking in front of the lot.
Yeah, looks to be it with SVG having this wraparound. TPs will come through. Miracle does have a refraction back up and all. They turn onto SVG. Miracle himself will get the first blood. Very nice turnaround. Perfect reaction from Kura.
You weren't wrong, Miracle. It was the first blood.
It was first blood. We meant Miracle was to get it all along.
He had the follow-up refraction coming out of really good time. That's one of those plays where a lot of people may look at it, and so like anyone, like for a lot of players, be like, oh, he's a bit fortunate, refraction came back up, but times that he knows when that recast for refraction is going to be up, and nice little bait from him. Matu, who got aggro tri-lane to start, doesn't found himself in a 1v1, which is going to be much better for him. But just giving the lifestealer that early CS advantage makes this lane a lot more manageable.
Top lane SVG has found GH here, and is going to go for a bit of a play. Mind control is in the neighborhood. GH, of course, very close to the shrine, and yeah, SVG knows can't really go full in. The shrine will be more than enough to keep GH safe. And SVG himself maybe a little bit scared now. He's deep in enemy territory. He's worried about potential wraparounds. GH starts to head towards him. Looks like Miracle's not going to Slaughter. Free Silverman ready to go.
Lanes, lifestealer going down bottom, so Matu won't get perhaps the 1v1 matchup he wanted against Beastmaster. It's still a decent matchup. That's the thing where they wanted to put Matu, I think, just and give more farm priority to the Timber than the Weaver, but he also doesn't really care so much about the matchup. While the Beastmaster's a good matchup, lifestealer is also a good matchup. There's no real bad matchups for him in any lane at this point, other than it's like a Silencer support was zoning him out with like Glaives or something. Maybe a mid-Silencers. What MP's plan is going to be, how effective they can be at coming down the GH jungle, or if SVG is just going to prioritize a bit more during the lanes early on. But now he is headed down bottom.
And I mean, considering this mid lane, how is it? You were saying you expect this to go between the two?
Too bad for you.
I'm totally sure. I haven't seen much Silencer versus TA. Like in my head, like Curse should be pretty good at breaking refraction. Mechanically, Miracle is like the play.
We coming over. So SVG is okay.
Throw the mid lane, since Miracle probably tells his team I can farm faster in the jungle. He's actually the underrated aspects of this hero, and fully well what he's capable of. Just says the mid lane's going to be empty. We're going to run Magnus in the top jungle. I'll take the bottom jungle. Hatespirit at bottom will be secured by NT. And Miracle getting that dangerous route.
SVG can get anything done with it. It's just getting eyes Miracle. Timberman's a hard one, isn't he? They've got rid of the crush and then not a lot of other control apart from the open wounds.
All physical damage, he has refraction, Magnus is kind of jungling in the very same place. Weaver's got to escape every lane. Similar story to last game where Liquid have drafted things that can't really be, they can be pressured for sure, but they're not necessarily like able to be easily dangerous.
At least SVG's just trying to be a nuisance here for Miracle, but Miracle still picks up the CS.
And